and it was then Szoboszlai with the second. 68% possession for the Blues, and they've had more attempts on target, and more corners, more big chances. But there's only one statistic that matters at half-time, and that is that the champions-elect lead here by 2-0. Well, let's go back to the studio where we can hear the thoughts of David, of Paul, and of course Kel.
Welcome back to Matchday Live, half-time here at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 0, Liverpool 2. Alongside me is David James and Paul Dickov. David, I will come to you first on your assessment of the 45 minutes, please.
I think Ali summed it up really well there at the end, because City have had most of possession.
Yep.
Most of that possession has been in Liverpool half. They've had the most attempts at target. But Liverpool, with 2 opportunities, they've scored 2 goals.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's even been a counter-attack necessarily. I think the first goal coming from the corner, it's not a corner I've seen before. Mm-hmm. Man City will never have seen that corner before. Really? So Liverpool have done very well to create this opportunity for Mo to get the shot on target. Unfortunately for Nathan Ake, he sticks his leg out, as defenders do. And I think Eddie would have saved the initial shot, but the deflection would just lift it up above him. So, Liverpool have not worked excessively hard, attack-wise, to put themselves in a 2-0 lead.
From a Manchester City point of view, how do you think City have played so far, Paul? Because they very much, as they say, kind of felt like we were dominating the ball. We just couldn't fashion some clear chances.
Okay, it's frustrating because I think we've been very, very good.
Yeah.
This 45 minutes, I think we've dominated. I think both our wide players, Doku and Sabine, have been absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Causing Robertson and especially Trent all sorts of problems. Phil looks at he's sort of playing as a false 9 where we thought Marmoush would have done it, and it seems to be working. We're getting an overload midfield.
Yep.
Where we thought their 3 might have had a bit too much with us energy-wise. We have been very good with and without the ball, but then Liverpool have been clinical.
Yeah.
It's easy to say 2 chances, 2 goals. I think Al and Andy were saying how efficient they've been. The corner is fantastic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up and saying, look, they've obviously worked on that in the training ground. Mm-hmm. And it's all very well working in set pieces in the training ground, but it's a different kettle of fish when you go out there.
Yeah.
And actually do it in the pitch. And then the second goal was a killer, really, because at 1-0 we're controlling the game again, looking good, and then but we spoke about Salah before the game, goal and assist he's got. He's at a different level at the minute.
Yeah, I mean he's in imperious form, and as you say, it was really Salah magic, as he said, goal and an assist for him. That second goal as well. Could City have defended that better?
I think the problem was the build-up, the ball down the right-hand side. As the guys were saying in commentary there, you'd be looking at an offside person who's not involved in getting the ball.
Yeah.
That's enough to put defences off, because it looks like, I think it was Dom Szoboszlai who was going for it. But the problem is, and again, we said this all in the build-up, the traditional Mo Salah tries to get a shot off there.
Yeah.
But he got himself in a position where he could lay the ball off, and he was comfortable laying the ball off to Dom for the goal. The finish for Dom, slightly fortuitous, because Kushnov has gone to do the defending thing, and he's gone through his legs, and he's actually going down as well. I mean, it was the smallest hole that Dom could have put the ball through.
Yeah.
But the thing that's slightly frustrating is that the City shots have all been from distance.
Yeah.
No shots inside the box. The Doku versus Trent, which straight away was a mismatch, as Ali said. But what's happened is Trent has dropped a little bit deeper, so when he's getting beat, Doku's on the byline.
Yeah.
On the goal line, which means Liverpool have got numbers in, so any crosses are going to get blocked.
Yeah.
I think he's learned, Trent, not to be exposed further up the field, and that was an opportunity from the get-go, even at 1-0 down, that they could have approached Doku. He's been there with his hands up in the air. Mm-hmm. Whether Pep looks at that, he'll have the footage in the change room and say, look, let's get the ball to Doku quicker.
Yeah.
You've had balls or runs through the middle from Phil Foden in particular, or Marmoush, which could have been played over. There is opportunities for City to get themselves back in this game. Mm-hmm. It's possibly doing something slightly different to what they've normally done. Otherwise, I think Liverpool are quite comfortable at the moment defending long-range shots.
Yeah, I think they'll be frustrated because they have dominated Liverpool. Not a lot of teams do that, but I think David's absolutely right. All the shots been from outside the box. for as good as we've been, we've not really created any clear-cut chances. And some as Liverpool have showed us, you don't need 1 or 2 clear-cut chances sometimes.
68% possession. Wow.
And, I mean, also as we pointed out there, Liverpool 3 shots, 2 of them on target, 2 goals. We did have the ball in the back of the net. Marmoush with a fantastic finish, but was offside. But what have you made of Marmoush? I feel at times he's been there, but also we've struggled to, as you were saying, David, get him in the game.
We have, but he's playing slightly deeper. We thought he would have been playing up against, well, not up against, but against Konate and Van Dijk as the number 9. But Phil Foden seems to be doing that, and he's dropped off a little bit, and he's picking up the ball in deeper areas, looking to create things. Maybe it's get him a bit closer to Phil, or flip them around a little bit, just to mix it up. Because in and around the box, the one thing he is, he's super positive. I think he said before, there's 71 shots.
71 shots tonight,
So he's not scared of letting fly when he's there. So maybe if we can try and get him a little bit further up the pitch, because as good as he's been today, he's been a little bit deeper than what he would normally be.
What have you made of the midfield battle? We kind of highlighted that was going to be obviously a key battleground for today's game. How's that been for you, David?
Yeah, I think there's been moments where City have been on top. I mean, it's flip-flopped quite a bit, actually. But I don't think that's where the key is in this game, and that's the thing about it. It's kind of the ball's getting out wide, where the likes of Doku, the likes of Savinho should be able to at least ask a bigger question of that Liverpool defence. The ball's getting in the middle, Liverpool are recycling well, Man City are recycling well, but it's not going through the middle. Although having said that, there are times where City have tried to play through the middle when you've got these 2 wingers wanting the ball, and you get past the midfield, and then you've got Virgil van Dijk and Konate to deal with, and at the moment they are looking like a brick wall. So I think bypass the midfield one way or the other. When the ball's in wider positions, go through the midfield with runs like Phil Foden has tried to do. But someone's got to find them. It'd
probably be an easy thing for people to say. Obviously, Erling Haaland obviously not fit enough to play today. I'm guessing, I think it might have been that needed little knock that he picked up against Newcastle. But is it? Well, we missing Haaland, or can City be doing more, do you think, Paul, to try and, as you say, get shots from inside the box? Because that's where obviously Haaland excels.
It is, but Liverpool as a team have defended really well. I think as David, if everything is going through the middle, Van Dijk and Konate, they're so happy because they know they've got numbers in front of them. I just think we need to keep getting the ball to Savinho and to Doku as quick and as early as we can. Because Robertson's struggling against Savinho. And we've already highlighted about Trent. He's dropping off. So the quicker we can get the ball out to them, it's going to cause them a lot more problems.
I think bizarrely, I always hate saying things like this, and we've done it many times, is saying that City should do something different, or Pep should do something different. But there are opportunities, quick balls out wide. The wingers, Savinho and Doku, will get past Trent or Robbo. And if it's done higher up the field, then you're forcing either of them to make a decision. Do I bring them down, or do I let them run in through on goal? And at the moment, they're not being asked that question because everything's happening so close to the goal line that if they get past them, they've got to get past everyone else. Quick passing into that situation, I think, will cause Liverpool problems.
If you're in the City dressing room, Paul, obviously it's got to be quite deflating, and it seems to be the story of the season. We've dominated, but obviously defensively still very fragile. Mentally, how will Pep or the other players, go about getting themselves up and at it for this second half? Because it's got to be tough, that.
It will be tough, but David will tell yourself, there's big characters, there's a lot of experience in that changing room. Yes, we've got Kuzanov and Nico and Marmoush have just come in, but all the rest of them out there are players that went on and won leagues and Champions Leagues and everything else. So as disappointing, as frustrated it will be, they've got to put it behind them and go out there. They can't go out the second half and feel sorry for yourself when you're playing against this Liverpool team. So I think they'll probably, Pep will say, more of the same, but with a little bit more quality and we need to create more chances than what we're doing.
I agree, and then one thing I haven't noticed, and I don't think anyone would have noticed because I don't think he was there, were players looking frustrated. So you go into the change room, you say, right, we've had most chances, we've had so much possession, we've got into better areas. The choice of the pass or the speed of the pass is something that could be improved on to create the better opportunity to score a goal. One goal goes in, I think it's an old cliche, but one goal goes, it's only one goal game. Liverpool have conceded a lot of goals this season, even if they are top of the league, and we're talking about how brilliant their defence is. So there are vulnerabilities. And if you don't believe that you could exploit those vulnerabilities, then you might as well not go out in the second half. So I think that there's still opportunity for City.
I just hope Jim was right in his prediction when he said the team was
Versus
going to end up losing the game.
Yeah,
I'm clinging on to that.
Yeah, I'm holding on to that as well. But I mean, looking to City's bench, I mean, you're probably going to say you're not going to be looking at changing Doku and Savino because they've been, Doku in particular as well. I think has ran Trent ragged. But looking to the bench, you've got the likes of Jack Grealish on there, Bernardo potentially that could come in and freshen it up.
There's big players on the bench to do it. I mean, the only thing with Doku is he's not had a lot of game time recently, so it's whether he can actually keep that up, keep his energy up and what he's doing for the full 90 minutes. But you've got Jack, you've got Bernardo who are top players, but I can't see Pep changing much at the minute.
Interesting with
change much.
McAtee's on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, Mackie.
See, even changing McAtee on would add a different dynamic to what we've got at the moment, because whether it's Mamouche or Phil Foden, you've still got midfielders effectively doing midfielder false nine stuff.
Yes.
Whereas McAtee wants to get in the box, get on the end of things, as we've seen in recent weeks. He can head the ball.
Yes, yeah.
And it just silly little things like that, where Mamouche, for all his goals, I think he's probably only scored one header this season.
Right, okay.
He's not a header goal scorer necessarily, and therefore you just change that dynamic. You get Kanate and Virgil van Dijk to think about different questions.
Yes, yeah.
It's something as simple as that could change the outcome.
And like you say as well, City have been great, but you have to give credit to the way that Arsenal have set up as well. And Liverpool have set up, and they have been very solid at the back, which has made it difficult for City as well, not for want of trying.
Yeah, they have. And the lads in front of them have been really good as well. Diaz was working his socks off trying to protect Robertson. Salah, I've never seen Mo Salah track back as much in front of Trent. And then, absolutely. But Szoboszlai, for me, the energy in there. 1 minute he's up and he's having a shot or try to engage with the front players, and the next minute he's sitting in front of the back four putting tackles in. Yeah. So you've got to give them credit. They're just dropping right back into a 4-5-1. Yeah. The back four is good enough as it is, but they're getting really good protection in front of them as well. The
question is, can Liverpool keep up? Even though they haven't had the possession, there's a lot running around closing down. Yes. Can they keep that kind of energy level up in the second half? I know quite often when Liverpool have played, it's been the opposition having to do that. Liverpool have said, well, they can't keep it up, and then we'll go and dominate them in the second half. So if City keep moving the ball at a quicker pace, put pressure on the endurance and stamina of the Liverpool players. I mean, if you look at their bench, they have got replacements, granted, but they can't keep that up for 90 minutes.
And Liverpool won't be used to 68% possession against them. It's usually the flip side. Yeah. And it's other teams that they'll be saying keep the ball, get them tired, and then take a chance. So City have just got to keep going, but with a little bit better tempo, I think.
Try and get that goal as well within the first 10-15. And I know I mentioned him before, but I'm going to mention him again because he's my boy. I feel like Kushanov again was fantastic. So aggressive, isn't he, as a defender, David?
Yeah, I feel for him in a way that he's not coming into a side which is challenging for the title because he's doing everything that you'd expect a signing for Man City to challenge sides. I mean, fantastic young player, and he can only learn from all these experiences, irrespective of what happens today. For his experience and his participation in this season, I think you're looking at one of those Man City players in 5-7 years' time. You're going, I remember when he first came here. He already looked the part. Now look at him now. He's a world beater. So.
He's a cult hero with the fans already. He's only been here a couple of weeks.
Right, even though he can't understand it.
Not yet. Gents, thank you so much. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, David. Right, Pep giving some final instructions, a bit of encouragement. It is not gone yet. It's Manchester City 2. Sorry, I wish it was that. It's Manchester City 0, Liverpool 2. Let's hope it's over to Mamouche, Phil Foden, the likes of Doku and Savino to turn the game around. We can do it. Come on, City.
Thanks, Kel. Welcome back to the Etihad Stadium. Neither team are out yet. City are in the tunnel. The Liverpool substitutes are busying themselves on the Etihad Stadium pitch. But there were plenty of positives in that first half. It was, in many ways, a really good first half performance from City, but Liverpool absolutely ruthless. 2 attempts on target, 2 goals. One a brilliantly worked set piece, the other, Salah and Szoboszlai, devastating. City did have the ball in the back of the Liverpool net, but it was offside, Marmouche, as he received the ball. And, the reality is that City have deserved more than they got in that first half. But in seasons when you are going to win Premier League titles, you go 2-0 up. And that's what's happened to Liverpool this afternoon. So out comes City, out first. Doesn't look as though they've made any substitutions, which doesn't surprise me because there were so many positives in that first half. Doku down the left side has been outstanding. Savinho looks as though he's got the beating of Robertson. There's been plenty of positives, but one very big negative, and that is that the Blues trail by 2-0. Liverpool this season have lost 4 times. Once at Plymouth in the FA Cup, they were knocked out. Once at PSV in the UEFA Champions League, they were already through, and indeed top of the league phase. Away at Spurs in the Carabao Cup, and of course they turned that around and are at Wembley and will face Newcastle. And at home to